welcome to Complicated Conversation. We're on the second scope here. So we are here in Columbia, Missouri, and Dunn Brothers. And today we are engaging in hard and difficult conversations. But first we have Brianna Lennon. She is running for the Southern District Commissioner. Yes. So we ended up with a really good question about the job of a commissioner. So David, do you want to ask her, Brianna, do you have a question for
So yeah, one of the things that you were talking about was the infrastructure that the commissioner is involved with, especially the relationships. And one of the things, I'm part of I serve as a vice president for grassroots organization in the community, and our focus is education based. And one of the issues in education has to do with issues of equity, and we were speaking about it earlier. But when we talk about equity, we really need to really talk about systems of oppression. And I'm wondering if you, when that term comes to mind, and this is the question from the community, as I'm phrasing it, when that phrase system of oppression comes to mind, especially related to equity issues, if we can focus on education, but we can also bring it farther to economic and system-wide. How would you, within that infrastructure, how would you tackle those issues that are particularly pertinent in Colombia, for instance, that are preventing children from parents from really having adequate access to education?
Sure. I think at the county level, there's a lot of room for discussion. That I think there's a big space there, and the Columbia Public Schools, the County Commission, the City of Columbia, the cities of Ashland. I mean, there are many cities within the county which don't always get involved in these conversations, I think, or they're not mentioned in these conversations. I think the commission can set a tone. I think the way that the structures are set up, because the CPS and Southern Boone County School District and all of those have their own sets of controls. And they do talk to the county commissioners, and they do have the ability to negotiate things like district boundaries, for example. I think that's one of the ways that things can come in. Annexation is one of those infrastructure things that plays into. We now have the way that the city has structured rentals. We now have people moving out to the county, and they don't necessarily have transportation to get to amenities. And whether they're part of the county that are in the CPS school district or another school district, those are all important elements that need to be discussed when we start talking about where we're moving forward. So, while it's not necessarily the solution, like the one big solution to what we're doing, I think those little pieces that might often be overlooked as being part of the solution, those are the elements that I'm interested in.
So the commissioner's office have access to organization if the community needs something, there's some access.
Right.
Yeah. So different organizations within the community.
Right. And there's that too, and that's what I mentioned before about the liaisonships. Is that what you can really do as the commissioner is be a sounding board, and you can go out into the community, which I think is a good rule for anybody in leadership to do, is have the opportunity to go out into the community instead of requiring the community to come to you. And having these conversations about inclusion, having these conversations about what we can do to work together, we can't really shy away from that. And that's one of the other reasons why I'm running, because that's the point where we're at now. Everybody needs to have these courageous conversations.
Yes, and I think it's so unique the way that is set up because as I kind of know a little bit how that works when a politician, I was an intern for the governor of New Mexico years ago, and I know that they are doing great in politicking when they're running. But as soon as these politicians get elected, they are enclosed. They're in a circle, and it's hard access from the community to them. So this is different, where you actually go instead of the community trying to force themselves and connect with you. You go out there and connect with them, and I think that's really, really good.
Well, the commission has such the way that it's structured, it has the ability to do that with it, which I think is wonderful. I mean, the commission really is 3 commissioners and 2 secretaries. There's no huge staff, there's no personal assistant, there's nothing. There's a hardworking commissioner that goes out and actually finds the solutions to these problems, or at least listens to people that have the ideas of how to solve them.
Yeah, and have such a refreshing face in politics, and I think, guys, it's no-brainer. We have a candidate that's awesome and new, and I think that's what we need.